Welcome back everyone to Bernie Man's Game Vault. Today, we're looking back at a brutal metallic slugfest of a game that some of you may have forgotten. But once you hear the name, that muscle memory is going to kick in hard. We're talking about RoboCop versus the Terminator on the Sega Mega Drive, or the Genesis if you're from North America. This game is everything the 90s wanted to be. Bloody, loud, edgy, and somehow it actually holds up better than you'd think. First off, this game is wild. RoboCop fighting the friggin' Terminator. If you were a kid in the early 90s, this was like peanut butter meeting chocolate. Two of the most violent cybernetic icons of the 80s action cinema going head to head. Instant hype. Now before we get into the gameplay, let's rewind a little, because this game wasn't just fan fiction or a cash grab. It actually had a story. Sort of. Back in 1992, there was a comic book series called RoboCop vs. the Terminator, written by none other than Frank Miller. Yeah, the guy behind Sin City and The Dark Knight Returns. The comic was gritty as hell, and no surprises, it inspired this game adaptation from Virgin Games. Now here's the twist. The Mega Drive and the SNES versions were totally different. I mean, they were the same general story, but the Mega Drive version, which is what we're talking about today, is a completely different beast. Made by a different team, different tone, different engine, and arguably way more badass. The moment you boot this game up, it drips attitude. Dark backgrounds, pounding the industrial music, and RoboCop just stomping forward like he owns the block. First level throws you into a Detroit war zone. Gang members everywhere, bullets flying, blood splattering, and yeah, let's talk about that. The gore. For a 16-bit game, it's gloriously over the top. Enemies just don't die, they explode. Body parts go flying. Visually, the sprite work holds up. RoboCop looks and moves heavy. He's not fast, he's a tank, and that's the point. His animations are chunky and deliberate. And while it can feel clunky at times, it feels right for who you're playing as. Okay, real talk. This game is hard. Like old school, memorize the level, trial and error, hard. But it's also really rewarding once you get into the groove. You start with RoboCop's standard pistol. Decent fire rate, decent power. But as you progress, you pick up all kinds of beefier weapons. Machine guns, rockets, plasma rifles. And when you get the right gun, you become an absolute wrecker machine. But the challenge ramps up fast. Enemies swarm you, there are instant death pits, you've got to nail the timing on your jumps, and RoboCop is not a nimble guy. It makes for some frustrating moments, especially in the later stages when precision is key. That being said, when you're fully powered and mowing down the waves of Terminators, man, there's just nothing like it. And let's just talk about the soundtrack for a second. This game's music slaps. It's gritty, bass heavy, and really nails the vibe of the two franchises. That first stage track has burned into my brain. It's not subtle, it's not elegant, it's aggressive. And that's perfect for this game. Sound effects, they're equally crunchy. Explosions pop, guns thud, and RoboCop's footsteps have that heavy, metallic stomp. It's satisfying in a very cool way. So what's the story here? Well, in this version, it's actually pretty clever. The Terminators send a soldier back to take out RoboCop. The plot twist, RoboCop's tech was what created Skynet in the first place. Yet apparently his neural interface was so advanced, Skynet basically grew out of it. So RoboCop ends up fighting OCP, Terminators, and himself. You go from Detroit to the future, to the heart of Skynet. It's nuts. There's no real in-game dialogue or voice acting, just some mission screens between levels, but it gets the job done. If you stick with the game, the levels get insane. You go full sci-fi factories, Skynet bases and robot hellscapes. And the boss fights, they're epic. You take on giant Terminator tanks, flying drones and robotic monstrosities. And of course you do eventually square off with the T-800 himself several times. And let me tell you, when Arnold's pixelated skull explodes on the screen, it's great. This game also has a really big cult following. It's one of those titles that people either completely missed or totally obsessed over. It didn't sell millions, it didn't win Game of the Year, but for those of us who played it, it was unforgettable. And it's still one of the best movie tie-in games ever made. Seriously, movie games usually suck, but this one took the premise, ran with it, and actually made something that felt fun, challenging, and true to both franchises. I really enjoyed this game back in the day. It was good fun, playing around my friend's house all the time. It was so hard, and even in this video, I didn't get a great deal into it, but I had fun playing it again, and I love the difficulty, and it is rewarding when you do get further every time. But I still recommend anyone to go back and play it and give it another bash and enjoy it and have fun again and see how far you can get. Anyway, that's my look back on one of the ballsiest, bloodiest games to ever hit the Mega Drive. Let me know in the comments if you played this back in the day. What was your favourite weapon? Did you rage quit at laser walls like I've done many a time? Please hit that like button if you enjoyed this trip down memory lane. Hit that subscribe button if you want to watch more gaming content. And I'll catch you in the next one. So look after yourselves.